Now, what I'm going to be covering here today is how to follow up with your leads. So this is before you even talk to the client. Then I'm going to talk about following up with someone after you talk with them and they don't buy. And then I'm going to talk about how to properly follow up with someone after they do. First off, before speaking with them, this counts as follow-up, because if you generate your own leads, then you are following up with a request for information on these insurance plans. So I would always look at calling the lead as following up. Now, follow-up starts before you even get on the phone with someone. There are a few different ways you can follow up with the lead you haven't spoken with yet to nurture the lead and try to initiate a conversation. So if you don't get on the phone with a lead, the purpose of follow-up through the other forms of media is just to try to get that person on the phone. If you text them or send them an email or send them something in the mail, the purpose of that isn't to make the sale doing that. And yes, I have mailed people things and had it work out. Don't use that as a scapegoat though, but mailing things does work. So if you call someone and you don't get on the phone with them, you want to do this. Number one, send them a text message. One thing I like to say, hey, this is Justin. I'm just reaching out with regards to the information that was requested on the state-approved final expense burial programs on Facebook. Do you prefer to communicate through text message, email, or over the phone? You can just ask them that. How do you prefer to communicate? You're trying to get them to talk. All you're trying to do is get them to say something. You can also say, hey, this is Justin with SLS, just reaching out. You requested some information on Facebook with regards to some state-approved final expense burial programs. You qualify for some additional discounts and benefits. Please call in to verify your eligibility to make sure that you're still eligible for them. Those are some things that you say with text messages before you even get in touch with the lead. Now, what I would do is you want to call them in the morning, in the evening. If not, the morning, the afternoon, and the evening. So if you get a batch of leads, you want to make sure that you're touching on them multiple times throughout the day. Call in a text, call in a text, call in a text, call in a voicemail, call in a text, call in a voicemail. Just a call, and then a call and a text, and then a call, and then a call and a voicemail, and then maybe no call, just a text. So you want to be staggering the times that you reach out to these people, because it's going to take more than 1, 2, or 3 attempts to get in touch with the lead a lot of the times. You're calling from a random number. They don't know who you are. People don't like talking to strangers. So try to get in touch with them as many times as possible without being like ridiculously annoying. But the thing is, look at it like this. Like, what if you sell them a policy and it protects their family against their final expenses? And what if you don't? And they end up passing away. I've had leads that I called who passed away in the time that they filled out the lead form until when I got in touch with someone at the household with that number. So once that happens to you, you realize like, hey, time is kind of the essence here. And I really got to do what I can to get in touch with these people. Voicemails. You can also leave voicemails saying something similar to what I said to say in the text message there. Just to follow up, hey, just reaching back out to you about the information you requested on the burial programs. Would love to get you this information in the shortest time possible. Let me know the best time for us to connect and how you wish to receive that information. You want it in the mail, you want a text message, you want a voicemail, let me know. Also, voicemail drops. So a lot of CRMs that are available today have voicemail drops. So what a voicemail drop is, it's a preloaded voicemail, and all you do is record that voicemail. And every time you get on the phone with someone and their voicemail answers, you just click a button and it throws the recording on the voicemail for you. It's pretty cool. VanillaSoft has that. That's my favorite CRM. That's the CRM that we use here. I'm sure there are plenty of other CRMs that have that though. A great app for follow-up is called Vidyard, Vidyard. So Vidyard is an app where you can record a video on your phone. It uploads it to Vidyard's cloud, and then it generates a link that you can use to share the video. So you just send that link to someone, and it allows you for them to click that link and watch that video without you having to send them like a big video message. It's like kind of uploading a video on YouTube and then sending them the YouTube link, except it's not YouTube, it's Vidyard. So bottom line, a recap on that, whenever you're calling a lead, you want to look at that as the first round of follow-up, okay? You're nurturing the lead. You want to call them in the morning, the afternoon, and the evening. You want to call them. If they call them 3 times, triple dial them. If they don't answer, send a text. Next time, triple dial. If they don't answer, leave a voicemail. Next time, just send a text. Time after that, triple dial, send a text or a video message or a picture message or anything like that. You want to be following up with your leads and nurturing them consistently. Now, the next round of follow-up comes when you talk to someone and they don't end up buying. So there's going to be situations when you're going to have to follow up with people to make the sale. For instance, first one I can think of off the top of my head is if you get all the way through and someone really wants it, but say they're out and about, they're not at home, they don't have their payment information with them. So you're going to have to follow up with that person and call them back. Chances are the first time you call them back, they're not going to answer. So if they're like, you know what, I'm at the grocery store, I'm going to be home at 7:30, everything's going to be all taken care of, put away. Call me at 7:30. I'll be able to sit down and have a full conversation with you at 7:30 and get you all that payment information. They're not going to get you their payment information at 7:30. I promise you that. So you're going to have to, not promise you that, but most likely they're not going to answer. So you're going to have to follow up with them and call them multiple times after you get in touch with them. Another example is if you get in touch with them and you bring them through a whole presentation, they say they can make a decision by themselves, but then all of a sudden at the end, they have to talk to someone else. So there may be something else there that you don't know. You have to increase that certainty and follow up. Hey, look, a lot of people just want to shop around. So you want to call and follow up and make sure that you are the last person that they talk to when it comes to life insurance. So you want to have a list. What I would have is a separate notebook. I used to have when I called it my hot list. So I would just have like a list of names and numbers that I would follow up with multiple times a day who were very, very close to buying but hadn't actually purchased yet. So have that list, go through that multiple times a day. You want to send them text messages. You want to send them video messages through Vidyard. You want to send them jokes, memes, call them multiple times. Stay in touch with them and find reasons to reach out for them. You can use the generic, hey, just following up about the life insurance program we discussed. Just wanted to check in. Have you made a decision? Have you seen enough to make a decision? Would you like any other information on it? You can send them the rates. Hey, here are the rates. Just wanted to refresh your memory on what the programs cost for life insurance. Has you seen anything else that you've decided to not move forward with me? Is there any other information that you'd like from me? Maybe I can qualify you for another program that could have some discounts, but we're really, really tight on the rates here. We're very, very competitive. I would really have to do some digging. Is there a price you'd have to be at to make a decision on this? Like the point is to just get them talking to you, okay? So you want to keep in communication with them and you want to stay in touch with them. Even if someone says, call me back in a week, you want to stay in touch with them every single day. Because I've had so many people say, call me in a week. I've had a few people say that and die. But I've had many people say that and they actually end up getting a policy in that time. If you want to learn how to generate your own leads through final expense Facebook ads, just click the link above. It's a full tutorial that I have on how to make final expense Facebook ads. People pay thousands of dollars for the content that's in that video for free to you, my viewer. So please check out that video. And if you like it, give my channel a little like and a subscribe too, okay? Now, the next round of follow-up comes after you make the sale. So at first we covered follow-up before we even get in touch with the lead. And then we cover follow-up after we talk to the lead through calls, texts, voicemails, mail them something too after you've talked to them. If they're just not responsive, mail them something. That's totally cool too. But the next round is after you make a sale. So after you make the sale, you 100% want to send someone a handwritten thank you letter. You want to write it that day. I would write it like right after making the sale. Put 2 or 3 personalized sentences in there. Mail them the letter. That's their first round of follow-up. And that confirms that you are who you say you are. I would also call them after they make their first payment to do a policy review, or if they post-date their payment a few weeks to a month, call them before their first payment is made. Because if they're contemplating canceling it, they're going to do it anyway. So you might as well get in touch with them ahead of time if they post-dated their first payment, meaning they didn't make it the day you did the application, because that way you can try to salvage the deal and maybe lower the face amount if it comes down to an issue of them making the payment. So you want to call someone after you make the sale, send them a thank you letter, call them after they make their first payment, do policy reviews with people. So when they have their policy, you can go over it line by line with them. They'll have their paper copy in front of them and you'll have your copy through the carrier's portal. And that's a really good way to earn referrals and upsell, because most people, when they buy a policy, they want to add more insurance. Like if they bought 20,000, they kind of probably wish they got 25. So you can always add a little bit of coverage on those calls as well. I would also send everybody a final wishes planning guide. You can find these online. I know Americo has a pretty extensive one that you can just print out and like white label it as your own. That's what I did. Maybe it's like plagiarism or something, but that's what I did when I was independent. And I mailed that out to people and I just put my little logo on it. And I was like, hey, this is a final wishes planning guide. I changed some words around so it wasn't like totally copying. But yeah, I would send everybody a thank you letter and a final wishes planning guide. Also, you want to have a directory. So have like a spreadsheet, or in your CRM, have a separate project of sold leads. You want to go through those once every 6 months. If you go through your sold leads every 6 months and ask for upsells and referrals, you're going to make a ton of money. So when they say the fortune is in the follow-up, man, the fortune is in the follow-up before you even get someone on the phone, because you got to follow up with them for them a lot of times to just get that conversation going. The fortune is in the follow-up after you talk with someone and they don't buy, because you have to be persistent with them. The purpose of follow-up is to increase their certainty to a point where they're ready to make a decision. It's to get their certainty to where your certainty is. It's to increase that. And you're doing that over time. You're also showing them that you're a professional. So that fortune is in the follow-up right there, because that helps you close the sale. And then the fortune after the sale is in the follow-up, because those people trust you already. That's the easiest sale you would ever make in this stuff, because they know who you are. They're not going to give you pushback if you ask for their bank information. They're not going to give you pushback if you ask for their social security number. Like, they already know who you are. You're like a part of the family. You can ask for referrals. It's super easy to get referrals from those people too. So if you are not texting and calling your leads multiple times a day, you are not following up enough. If you are not calling and texting and sending video messages and mail to people who you talked to but were this close to buying but didn't buy, you are not following up enough. You are not maximizing your ROI on your leads. And if you are not following up with sold clients once every 6 months, if you're not sending them thank you letters, if you're not sending them final wishes planning guides, if you're not keeping in touch with them, if you're not doing policy reviews, you are leaving so much money on the table. I'm telling you, you can like triple your ROI on your leads. And especially with upsells and referrals, you can like 5 to 10x the ROI on your leads just by doing those simple things. So please, please, please watch this video a few times. Learn how to follow up with your leads, and also watch my video on how to make final expense Facebook ads. There's also a follow-up video to that can show you how to make automations that can follow up for you for leads that you haven't talked to yet. So check out that video. I hope you guys find value in this content. If you do, please subscribe to my channel, turn on post notifications, hit that bell, and I'll see you next time.